Welcome to today's session of Yoga for Strength and Vitality. I hope you're healthy and I hope you're happy, able to enjoy this beautiful time of spring. I sometimes read a quote from this little book of yogic sayings for each day. And I'd like to share with you today one that goes like this. An adult is a human being who believes she or he should do something perfectly the first time he or she tries. Watch a child learn to walk and you will be instructed in the power of persistence as he or she falls down and gets up time and again. As adults, we become impatient or discouraged when we can't learn a new skill on our first try. Today, when you practice, allow yourself to fail. Remember, it is called yoga practice and not yoga performance. So with this, and we know that doing postures in the yoga practice is only the beginning. It sets the foundation to release tension in the body, turbulence in the mind. It strengthens the body, and it enables us to sit for longer periods of time in cross-legged position or on a floor or in a chair and meditate without our feet falling asleep or our back hurting. So the postures are the foundation to build a yoga practice on. Let's begin with warming up a little bit by stretching the shoulders forward, up and back, rotating the shoulders. And back up and forward. Stretching the left ear to the shoulder, letting the head hang sideways for a nice stretch of the right side of the neck. And right ear to the shoulder. Chin to the chest, letting the head hang forward. And lifting your head and neck, looking up to the ceiling, stretching the chin up. And then making circles with the face, bigger head and neck rotations, 3 to 5 times each direction. The opposite direction. And let's twist to the left. Bring one hand behind you, the opposite hand on the opposite knee, looking over your shoulder and looking back, aiming to sit with a straight spine. And releasing to the center and moving on to the other side right away, opposite side. And releasing to the center. Let's do some circles with the torso. You can close your eyes, just move the way your body wants to move right now. Sometimes we feel like moving fast and full range of motion. Sometimes very slow or barely moving. In the opposite direction. And for Yoga Mudra, sitting with a straight back, cross-legged or in a lotus pose, reaching back, clasping your hands behind your back. With the inhalation, gently arching back. With the exhalation, bending forward, forehead towards the mat, lifting your arms behind you. And slowly lower your arms, inhaling, sitting back up, pausing for a moment with eyes closed. And let's stand up. We'll begin with some standing poses. Let's begin with Tadasana, the mountain pose. Standing with feet about hip width apart, lifting the toes up, fanning the toes out. And as you place it down, feel your weight is evenly placed on all four corners of your feet. Then you can cup your belly at the lower back, lifting up the front, pushing down the back, adjusting the hips. Bringing the arms up, out from the side, palms facing up. And now bring the arms back behind you. Notice your shoulder blades are moving closer to the spine, straightening the upper back and shoulders. And then slowly bring the arms down. When the pinkies touch, turn the palms in. Oftentimes our head sticks out, 2 fingers at the chin, gently pushing the chin back. Close your eyes. Notice your spine is lengthening with your head and neck. And then relaxing arms down. Make a mental note of your pose. Sit with your eyes closed. This is about as straight as you can stand. Tadasana, the mountain pose. Straight and strong like a mountain. And let's do 5 full yoga breaths. Inhaling through the nose. With the exhalation, bending forward, hands towards your feet. With the inhalation, rising up, timing your movement with your breath. Coming up onto the toes into a V. With the exhalation, bending forward and down. Timing your movement with your breath. If you breathe faster or slower, you need to move faster or slower. And the last time, coming down onto the heels, place the palms to the chest, centering position, pausing with your eyes closed. And for the half moon pose, bringing your feet closer together. Unless balance is a challenge, then just keep them at hip distance apart. Inhaling, arms up, left hand in front of the right, thumbs are locked. Stretching up on the toes, down onto the heels and bending sideways to your left. When you have your arms back by the ears, you can use your left hand to bring that right arm and hand back where it is supposed to be, back by the ears. And with the inhalation, releasing the pose, standing up straight. That's with the other side right away. So we're just switching hands, back hand forward. So the right hand is in front. With the next inhalation, coming up onto the toes, reaching up. Exhaling onto the heels and bending sideways to your right. The side stretch or side bend is stimulating the function of the adrenal glands, which are so important for many hormonal functions in our bodies. And inhaling, releasing the pose, stretching up on the toes, reaching up onto the heels, arms down to the side, pausing with eyes closed. And let's do an ankle twist. We need a little bit of balance. So most important in a balanced pose is a focal point. Ideally at eye level or above, something that's not moving, a point or a straight line. With the inhalation coming up onto the tippy toes, pushing the balls of the feet into the mat or into the floor, and twisting sideways to your left. You have to shift your focal point as you move. Slowly moving back to the center and onto the other side. And slowly back to the center with the exhalation coming down onto the heels. With the inhalation coming up onto the toes again, reaching up with your arms by the ears, stretching up high and exhaling down slowly. Let's do that a couple more times with the inhalation, rising up. And with the exhalation, lowering down. Standing back into Tadasana. If you notice that your shoulders are rounding a little bit or your arms are hanging in front of your body, rotate the shoulders forward, up and back so that the arms are by the outer seams of your pants. You also can rotate your palms open and out, and that also brings the shoulder blades back a little bit more, and then relax your arms. And let's do balance, a tree pose, placing the weight onto the left leg, bringing your right foot up, either inside your lower leg, inside your upper leg, or maybe even on top of your thigh, whatever position is most comfortable for you. Focal point. And if you're a little wobbly or if bounce is a challenge, keep your hands out in your peripheral vision. I am calm, I am poised is the affirmation for the tree pose. If you can, place the palms together at the chest. I can stay in this pose a little longer or lift your arms out and up, growing your tree, growing your branches. You can keep your arms up by the ears, palms facing each other, or having your palms touch above your head. And to release, slowly lower your palms to the chest, releasing your foot, slow conscious movements. Close your eyes, take a deep breath or two. I am calm, I am poised. And preparing to do the same thing on the other side. So weight onto the right this time, bringing your left foot up inside your lower leg, upper leg, or on top of your thigh. Palms together at the chest, or feel free to keep your hands out. Lifting your arms up if you like. You can always keep them at the chest or keep them in any position that is comfortable for you and where you can hold the pose in stillness. Come out slowly. Lower the palms to the chest. Releasing your foot, lower your leg. Pausing with eyes closed. And let's do 2 rounds of salutation to the sun, starting at the front of our mats. With the inhalation, reaching out and arching back. With the exhalation, swan diving forward. So arms out to the side, bending down. With the next inhalation, hands under the knees, halfway lift. The arms are straight, torso is parallel to the floor. With the exhalation, coming down again, fingers in line with toes. With the inhalation, rising up again, arms and palms up, arching back. And exhaling down again, swan dive forward. Inhaling left leg back, a big lunge, looking up. Exhaling right foot back for high plank, pulling the shoulders back, engaging the abs. With the exhalation, knees, chest, forehead down. Inhaling up into cobra pose. Exhaling to downward facing dog, so curling the toes under and lifting back up to down dog. With the next inhalation, stepping forward with the left foot, a big lunge, looking up. Right foot forward, hips are up, head is down. Inhaling, reaching out and up, arching back. And exhaling forward for the other side. Inhaling, halfway lift, hands under knees, arms are straight, look down. Exhaling down, fingers in line with toes. Inhaling all the way up and arching back. Exhaling, swan diving forward again. Inhaling, right foot back, lunging, looking up. Exhaling, left foot back, high plank. Take an inhalation in the plank with your exhalation, touching down, knees, chest, forehead. Inhaling up into cobra. Exhaling to down dog. Inhaling, right foot forward, lunging, looking up. Exhaling, left foot forward, hips are up, head is down. Inhaling, reaching out and arching back. And palms at the chest. Bring the hands in centering position. Take a deep breath or 2, or double inhale, double exhale. And we're attempting to do side 2, to do the second round. We did side 1, side 2, and we do the second round. Inhaling, reaching out and arching back. And exhaling forward. Inhaling, halfway lift, looking down. Exhaling down again. Inhaling up, arching back. Exhaling down. Inhale, plank back, lunging, looking up. Exhaling, right foot back, high plank. Take an inhalation, the exhalation, touching down. Inhaling up into cobra pose. Exhaling to down dog. Inhaling, left foot forward, lunging, looking up. Exhaling, right foot forward, hips are up, head is down. Inhale, reaching out and arching back. Exhaling forward. Inhaling, halfway lift, hands under the knees, looking down. Exhaling down. Inhaling up and arching back. Exhaling forward again. Inhaling, right foot back, lunging, looking up. Exhaling, left foot back, high plank. Take an inhalation. And exhaling down, knees, chest, forehead. Up into cobra. Exhaling to down dog. Inhaling, right foot forward. Exhaling, left foot forward. Inhaling, reaching out and arching back. And pausing with palms at the chest. Breathing deeply, or double inhale, double exhale. And separate the feet wider than the mat, or a side triangle. Bringing your left arm down, let the hand just run down your leg on the outside. Bending sideways and lifting your right arm up, looking up past your outstretched fingertips. Moving into the standing star pose. Both arms are up, palms facing up. Can gaze straight ahead or keep your eyes closed. And let's move into the side triangle on the other side. Right arm down and left arm up, looking up past your outstretched hand. Yeah, like one hand is reaching for the floor, the other hand is reaching for the ceiling. And coming back to a standing star pose. Come out, keeping the arms up just a little bit longer. Taking 2 steps to bring your feet together. And then ever so slowly let the arms come down to the side. Shoulders are back. Pausing with eyes closed. And stepping to the front of the mat again for jackknife pose. Feet are about hip width apart. With the inhalation, lifting the arms up by the ears, stretching up. And with the exhalation, swan diving forward again. So keeping your back straight as long as you comfortably can. At last, just hang forward, hang down, or relax your head. If you like, you can move your hips lightly and slowly from side to side. You can even move your arms and your shoulders, adding some movement to that forward bend. What in this world can hold me is the affirmation for the jackknife. You can also hold onto your legs in any place that you can comfortably reach. Could be your shins, your ankles, maybe even your toes. If it is your toes and your feet, maybe you can bring your fingers under your toes or your hands under your feet. Your head and neck from side to side, like maybe saying no, no, or yes, yes. Or making circles with your head and neck. Let's reach around the back with your hands, clasping your hands. Lifting the arms up as you guide your chest, your torso a little closer to your legs. Lowering the arms onto your back, sliding your hands down your legs. Place them next to your feet, separating your fingers nice and wide. As we step back into downward facing dog. So left foot back and right foot back. If you want to make your adjustments, hands are shoulder width apart. The feet are hip width apart or closer together. And you can stretch your calves at the area behind the knee by pedaling your feet, bending one knee as you stretch the opposite heel down. And then finding your pose. Downward facing dog. Chest towards the knees. hips are at their highest point. Yeah, let's place the weight onto the right foot, lifting your left leg up behind you. And slowly guide that left knee, bend that left knee, bring it down towards the left elbow. And back up. And setting your foot next to the other. Now weight into the left, lifting your right leg up. Keeping the supporting limbs straight and strong. Now bending your right knee, slowly guide it down towards your right elbow. And bring it back up. And lower your foot, lower your knees onto the mat, the tops of the feet on the mat, pushing yourself back into extended child's pose, with your forearms, forehead resting on the mat. Let's come up onto hands and knees, placing your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders, fingers are spread again. We'll do cat-cow with the exhalation, rounding your back like an angry cat. With the inhalation, sagging down, looking up, moving your hips out. And 4 more times with your breath, exhaling, rounding, inhaling, sagging down. Keeping your spine straight and neutral. Bring the left knee to the forehead. Lifting that left leg behind you, keeping your knee bent. Bending your elbows towards the back, guiding your forehead onto the mat. And pushing the hands into the floor, knee back to the forehead. Down onto the mat and right knee to the forehead. Bring your leg behind you, looking up. And forehead to the mat. Knee back to the forehead. Back down onto the mat. Let's do cat-cow again, rounding your spine like an angry cat. With the inhalation, sagging down, looking up. With the next exhalation, sitting back, right big toe over left big toe into the firm pose. Palms are increase of thighs and torso, fingertips almost touching, palms facing up. Now pull the shoulders back and relax. Close your eyes for a moment, sitting in the firm pose. Coming up onto hands and knees, now sliding your left leg forward, so the left bent knee is kind of in between your hands. Sliding your right foot back for pigeon pose. If you want, you can swivel a little bit from side to side, stretching the hip joint, the inner thigh, and the groin. And then bringing your fingertips, I should say, For a little further back than the knee, being on the fingertips, arching back, pigeon pose. Release into a forward bend in the pigeon, coming onto your forearms, bring the palms together. And your left side of the chest is resting on the bent knee, forehead's resting on the mat. Coming up onto your hands again, sliding your left knee back and your right knee forward. Now the right knee is kind of in between your wrists, so in between your hands. Sliding your left leg straight back, sliding the hands back onto the fingertips and arching back. Releasing into the forward bend, bringing your forearms together, your palms together. Right side of the chest is resting on the bent knee. Coming onto your hands. If you like, you can swivel from side to side here as well. And then sliding your right knee back, curling the toes under, lifting up into downward dog. Find your pose, make your adjustments, place your hands on your feet. And one more time, lifting your left leg up, three-legged dog pose, and bending that left knee. Open the hip to the left, letting your foot fall behind you. Throw your foot next to the other and raise your right. Bending your right knee, open the hip to the right. And lower your foot. Drop the knees onto the mat. Let's move into frog pose. So separating your knees as wide as the mat is, or even wider. Right big toe over left big toe. Pushing yourself back, sitting on your heels. Sliding your arms out. Guiding your chest, arms, and forehead onto the mat. And as you bring your hands back, guide your knees together. And we'll do some sahajams. It's a breathing practice with movement from the firm pose. We inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, hushing the breath out. So it's an audible breath, making a sound as we exhale and extending the body forward. And timing it so that we inhale, sliding back up, and exhale twice as long as we move forward. Let's do 5 rounds of that. Inhaling through the nose with the exhalation, opening the mouth, sliding forward as you exhale. The inhalation, sliding back up. Focusing on making the exhalation twice as long as the inhalation. And one last time. Pausing in the firm pose, eyes closed. Coming up onto the knees, we'll do a kneeling backward bend and bring the hands to the waist. Look at a focal point as you step forward with your left foot into a lunge. Just make sure you don't overextend the knee. The knee stays above or behind the heel and the ankle. The inhalation, reaching out and up. Palms together, arching back. I am free, I am free, is the affirmation for this pose. Focal point is at the ceiling, looking up. And bring the palms to the chest. Bring your right hand close to your foot, fingers in line with toes, and the opposite arm up. Twisting, looking up, past your outstretched hand. Slowly lower your left. And slide your left knee back, bend your right knee forward. Coming onto the right foot for a lunge. Inhaling, reaching out and arching back. I am free, I am free. And for the twist, lower the palms to the chest. Now bring your left hand and in line with your right foot and lifting the right arm up, looking up. And lower your right hand. Sliding your right foot back, turning around, lying on our backs, preparing for some simple inversions. First, you can hold your knees to the chest, hug your knees. Maybe gently roll from side to side, massaging your back. You can cup your knees with your palms and make circles with the knees, massaging the lower back. Opposite direction if you're circling. And let's windshield wiper the knees too. Just kind of loosen up the back as much as we can. Bring the arms out from the shoulders. Letting the knees fall from side to side. Try to keep your knees together. It's a little more challenging, a little more of a stretch of the lower back. Lower the arms to the side. Bring the arms really close to your body. Maybe tuck them under your body a bit, because the closer they're together behind your back, the easier it is to hold the inverted poses. And bring the knees in, lifting the lower legs up, rotating feet and ankles. And then bring your legs over your head with a little bit of momentum, supporting your hips with your hands in a simple inversion. Awake by sleeping powers awake is the affirmation.
can stay here in this variation, or move into a shoulder stand by walking your hands further up your back until your body's in a straight line from your shoulders up. For parallel plow, bring the legs over your head until they are parallel to the floor. You can support your hips with your hands or release your forearms and hands behind you. For an advanced shoulder stand, either push your arms into the mat, or you can also clasp your hands, bring your arms a little closer together, and lift both legs simultaneously back up into a shoulder stand. And to come out, you can reach out one leg at a time, counterbalance with the other, with the knees bent. Or you can bend both knees by your face, bring the knees down to the face, and slowly allow your back to roll down bone by bone. And keeping the knees up. Take a breath or two with your eyes closed. And then move into bridge pose. So the knees are about hip-width apart. Lifting the hips up. You can reach down, clasp your hands underneath you, and lift one shoulder at a time, tucking your shoulder blades closer together. Holding the bridge pose. For the fish pose, bring your palms down onto the mat. Maybe your hands can be on top of each other gently or side by side. Straighten your legs, the legs stay relaxed. As you arch your upper body up onto your elbows. And let your head rest back. Chest is arched and open. My soul floats on waves of cosmic light is the affirmation. If you want to do a strength variation in the fish, you can lift your left leg up about 45 degrees. And lower. And lift your right. And lower. And lifting both. Slowly lowering down. When your heels touch, make sure all the weight's on the elbows, lifting your back and resting down. Pausing for a moment. Allowing your heart rate, your breath rate to normalize. With the inhalation, your navel rises. With the exhalation, your navel falls. Deep, slow, abdominal breathing. For supine spinal twist, bending your left knee. The right hand guides that left knee over to the right side. Rolling all the way onto the right hip so that your upper knee can touch the floor. Then bring your left arm in a straight arm arc across, looking over to the left. There's too much tension in the shoulder. Feel free to have that left hand rest on your hip. Slowly bring your left arm back to the knee, guiding your knee to the center, straighten your leg, bending your right knee. Left hand guides that right knee over to the left. Right arm comes across. Slowly bring your right arm back to the knee, guiding your knees to the center. And we'll do threading the needle or figure four pose. Your left ankle on top of the right knee or thigh. Now reaching through your legs with your left hand. Right hand on the outside, holding on ideally to the kneecap. If you hold on to your shin, you don't get a lot of stretch, so bring your hands higher up, close to the kneecap. Now, if there's a lot of tension, you can hold on behind the thigh. The idea is to guide your folded legs a little closer to your torso, while keeping the shoulders and the tailbone on the mat. And slowly releasing. Let's do the other side right away. Placing the right ankle on top of the left knee or thigh. Reaching through the legs with the right hand, left hand on the outside. Breathing into any tension you might feel, and there usually is hip tension. And releasing. Let's hug the knees. And then move from tailbone to the hip, back and forth, massaging your spine. Until you come up to a seated position. And let's move into a seated balance, the balance V pose. So leaning back, balancing on the tailbone area as you lift your lower legs up. And you can hold on to your lower legs in any place. But if you have real long legs, likely you're holding onto your shins or your calves. We can hold onto your feet. Or you can form a mudra, 2 fingers around the big toes. Tap it with a thumb for an energy lock. Focal point is at the ceiling. Straighten your legs, pulling your shoulders back, and opening your feet. And from the balance V pose, let's see if we can take it very slowly into a posterior stretch by guiding the feet together, bending the knees. Keep your hold if you can. If not, just let go. And slowly sliding or walking your feet forward into posterior stretch. Take a deep inhalation. With your exhalation, folding forward. And letting go of your hold with the inhalation, sliding back up to a seated position, letting your hands rest on your thighs as you sit with your eyes closed.
And we'll finish today with a tabletop. So bringing the hands, fingers are spread next to your hips. Feet are about hip width apart. As you bend your knees, coming onto the soles of your feet and bringing your hips up. If comfortable, letting your head rest back. Very slowly, moving down, try to sit down in between your hands. Then relax your hands onto your thighs. Pause for a moment with your eyes closed. And it's time for deep relaxation. So coming to a comfortable position on your back, legs straight, arms by your side for deep relaxation. If there's another movement you like to do, please do what your body calls for. Maybe another stretch. Always feels good when you lie on your back to hug the knees. Move the knees from side to side or move your back from side to side. And then coming to a still position for deep relaxation. Your eyes closed. Just feel that your body is ready to relax. Part by part. Notice your breath. Notice your navel rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale. And with each exhalation, maybe you can feel like letting go a little more, sinking deeper and deeper into the mat. Let's begin by seeing, feeling, or imagining a soft, white, mist-like light entering your room. It moves towards you and gently surrounds your beautiful physical form. The light lifts you up and it feels like you're floating on a cloud. Invite this light straight to the toes of your left foot, toe by toe. Fills your ankle, lower leg, knee, thigh, and hip. Your left leg is completely relaxed. Now guide this light to the toes of your right foot, toe by toe. Right ankle, lower leg, knee, thigh, and hip. Both legs are completely relaxed. Now guide this healing light to your torso, entering your abdomen, your stomach, your chest. Allow it to move deeper inside, touching your internal organs with this healing light. Moving up, encircling your beautiful heart. Expanding out and filling your whole chest with healing white light. Now guiding this light into your back. Relaxing away tension from your lower back. Through the middle parts. Into your upper back, relaxing all tension away. Now guide this light into the fingers of your left hand, finger by finger. Into your wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, and shoulder. Guide it into your right hand, finger by finger. Right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, and shoulder. This peaceful light moves into your neck and throat like a wave flowing into your face, relaxing your jaw, filling mouth and lips, entering your nose, your cheeks, filling your ears, touching your temples, moving into your eyes and into your forehead. This peaceful light moves inside your head, inside your brain, relaxing away thoughts and fears. This peaceful light leaves your body through your head, once more surrounding you, expanding out and filling your room with your peace. Expanding out further and leaving your room. Your peaceful light of consciousness moves through the city, over houses and trees, over oceans, mountains and continents, into space, to infinity, keeping you completely relaxed and completely in peace. Enjoy this peace. Enjoy. Oh. Gently preparing to guide your consciousness back, tracing it back over houses and trees, back into your room, back into your physical form. Energy and consciousness enters your head, filling your brain, moving down into your face, feel it behind your eyes. Moves down your neck and throat, into your shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Vitalized energy and consciousness fills your torso from your chest, down into your stomach, all the way down to the hips, thighs, lower legs, feet, and toes. Moving fingers and moving toes, wiggling fingers and moving toes. Let's make fists with the hands. Bring the arms out and up. Inhaling, double inhale, stretching up. And double exhale, relaxing down. You can roll over onto your favorite side. Just lie there a moment longer. Perhaps with your head on your elbow like a pillow. And then slowly coming to a seated position. One of the hardest parts in a yoga class is to get up after deep relaxation. I can vouch for that. Let's warm up a little bit again. Make sure we're fully back in our physical bodies as we attempt to live the rest of the day. Head and neck from side to side. Flex the fingers forward, out to the side, and up to the ceiling. And shake out the hands. Our greeting in yoga is oftentimes namaste, which means my soul bows to your soul. Thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Namaste.